Steve Perry gives an interview with CBS this morning, and it's a pretty good one. We'll talk about it coming right up.
And now it's time for Steve Perry News with Gary Stuckey. All Steve Perry News.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Gary Stuckey, and this is Steve Perry News. And Steve Perry just got through doing an interview with CBS Sunday Morning. Pretty good interview. It was short, but sweet. It was good. Steve really talked about a lot of his emotions, and even expressed it, and you could see it in his face, especially when he was talking about his father. When he was like 3 or 4 years old, he said his father would sing to him, and he got choked up. He couldn't even speak, because his father and mother separated and got a divorce, so he didn't get to see his father as much. And that's a very hurtful situation there, but you could tell it touched him, and it's part of his life, part of his emotions that he's expressing on this new album. That's one of them, and then, of course, talking about Kelly, his late girlfriend, was very emotional stuff right there, and that's why, I think Kelly helped him so much, and she was a psychologist too, so she talked to him and helped him too, and was the reason why he decided to do music again, which they talked about that in this interview, and but he mentions, of course, Journey, about how when he hurt his hip and was supposed to have the surgery, how they, pressured him, and he had to make a decision, and they went ahead and went on without him with the band, and he said that hurt, him, and he hasn't really mentioned that in a lot of the interviews. I think he was saving it for this interview, but he says it hurt him, and I think his ways of coping with it was just like the other ways. I think he had bottled it up. I think with Kelly and meeting her and talking to other psychologists and stuff like that, it helped him be more open. So he's open now. He even said that that's what, his heart is still broken, he said, but it's open. That was one of the final things he said in this interview. But talking about Journey, I think that's his situation right now. He was asked, would he ever return back to Journey, because millions of fans are waiting for that answer, and he wouldn't give an answer. He would not say no, and that's what he's been saying the whole time. He's never said no, and I know a lot of people get bent out of shape if you mention Steve Perry and Journey in the same sentence, because I guess because they're hurt, because Steve got hurt, and I understand that too. But, I speak the truth. Steve is open and honest too, and I want to be like that too. So what I'm seeing is Steve is hurt. He was hurt by what happened in Journey. He's not mad at Journey, and he's been healing, and just like the healing he got from all his past hurts in his life, and then with Kelly, it took him a couple of years, but then he made that promise to Kelly, and he came back out and started singing. So, and I think there's a pretty good chance when Kelly and he were talking, I'm pretty sure he brought up Journey to her and how much it hurt him, and I'm sure she helped him in the same way deal with that situation, and probably gave the same advice about continuing, and just like he came out and started doing music again, I think that's on a back burner. I really think Journey is on that back burner. I don't think it's a no. I just think that he's dealing with his emotions and healing, and of course he's doing his music right now and what he wants to do, and it's an awesome album, and that's the focus right now. And I think that's all he's saying. He just wants to focus on his music right now. So he would never say no, because you can't say no, to that. He doesn't want to say no and close the door, because that's in the future. And he said at this moment about 3 or 4 times, and right now a couple of times. So what he's saying is right now at this moment, he doesn't want to do that. So he said, if you ask me right now, the answer. That's your answer. But so there you go. I mean, he wants to focus on music right now, and he's doing it. He's got an awesome album out that uh, describes his life. It reveals his emotions and all the things he's been through, just like the cover of the album. And he said his heart is open, and he's ready to let us in, and we'll see what happens in the future. But at least we know that Steve is open and honest, and he doesn't mind sharing what's on his heart, and we get to hear it, and we get the joy of rediscovering Steve. But anyway, that's the story. And tomorrow on Good Morning America, there's going to be another interview, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But still excited about the new album. Go check it out. Go buy it, and enjoy. Hey, this is Gary Stuckey. Don't stop believing, everybody. God bless you.